like we have discussed about attention network, right? So after attention networks has been introduced, it has brought a revolution in NLP field. Like from past 2 years, you can see like so many different architecture models like has been come up, and you can, if you see the trend, almost all of them are based out of transformers. So what transformer network is, like it is a combination of like many like attention based models. So it is mainly focused on attention based, it's like a kind of combination of many attention mod layers in it. Okay, so if you can see a kind of a subset diagram of machine learning models, let me give an introduction. So if you see, these are all ML models, like classical machine learning and deep learning, like all combined. If you take whole, so let us say it, deep learning is a kind of a subset of all machine learning models. Okay, and out of this subset, like now transformers is like one part of like deep learning, like which is also, like you can say this even all DL algorithms, you can say it's a machine learning, right? Similarly, all transformer algorithm models are based out of deep learning. But now this is being a trend, like from past 2 years, like transformer models are being a trend and being used in most of the applications. Okay, basically like these are developed for NLP, but this has a huge scope, like even attention models, if you can see, this has a very good scope even in case of what you say vision or like other tasks as well. Okay, so let's do former models, like which was BERT. So BERT was called like bidirectional encoding representation trans representation from transformers. Okay, this I think has been proposed around like 2018, I guess. I'm not very sure about the year. So what this has become is, this has brought a revolution in the entire NLP field. And basically like how we use this bird is like it has been trained across, like used across like to solve 11 different kinds of NLP problems. So what exactly is this bird? Like let's see it. So before that, like it has been, let's this actually like has been trained on like entire Wikipedia. So Wikipedia is like very good source of text, right? So it has been like taken off entire Wikipedia, which was around 2500 million words. Okay, and as well as like book corpus, like all the like novels or such kind of things, like which are available digitally, right? So it has taken like words from that as well, like which was around like 800 million words. Okay, so these are all unique words. So if it is having these many words, it would have almost like seen entire like words like which are in English literature, right? So this was actually a pretty good one, right? So this would have make sense of most of the like once the embeddings of this particular bird would have seen most of the things which were available, like it would have went across, trained across like all the possible word combinations. And like it would have made us some sense, like that these words like are similar, these words are like different, something like that, right? So because it has trained on this huge corpus, so we can actually like, and also like if it has been trained very efficiently, so finally we can say that this particular model knows like it has understood the context of English literature better. Like we can the representation from this BERT model can be, that embedding can be used, like the vector which we get from this, right? So that actually has very good sense of like what that word is. So we can have that kind of assumption. So let's see like how actually it has been trained, and then we'll move forward and how it can be applied in our like NLP applications. Okay. So basically, like these are all just words, right? Like you mean to say like some set of text, like paragraphs, like sentences and so on, right? Like which were into this. So there is nothing like a label data. So how actually it has been trained? So because like usually like we like think of some for training we need some kind of a label data to train it, right? So how actually this text is used? Like we can't someone can't manually sit and like do some kind of annotations on top of it to train a model, right? So because like you can see this is very huge. So how is it trained? Okay. So this can be a question. So because like even though you have very huge data set with you, but until unless it is labeled, then we are not sure like how we can use it. So so what we can do is, so it actually has been trained on two different problems. One of them is something uh, like next sentence prediction, and one more word is we call it masked language modeling. So I will discuss about these two now anyway, like how actually it has been trained, and then we'll move forward. So basically like how next sentence prediction has been trained is, let's say you have a model which is BERT model. So you give input as one sentence and you expect output as a next sentence, like means the model should predict the next sentence. So something like you have given a sentence A and you predict sentence B, which should come like in the sense you have a paragraph, right? You have a sentence one, two, three, like this, like this, like this. So this is sentence one, sentence two, sentence three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what you can give is you can give input as sentence one to model, and you expect output should be like sentence two. Similarly, you give sentence two as to the model, and you expect output to be sentence three, something like that. Okay. So here indirectly like we have kind of a ground truth to train a model, right? So you say that I fill the first sentence, model should predict what will be the next sentence. So something like that. It's like instead of word next word prediction, it is like next sentence prediction. So this is one way, and this is one approach which they have trained it on. And the other one is like mask language modeling. So what it means is in a sentence, okay, like you have a sentence, this is a, there is a book on the table. Okay, let's say this is a sentence. So in the sense this mask language modeling is something like it randomly masks few words, like instead of this it will not give anything. It's kind of mask, like this word they will remove it from the sentence, and the outbird model should actually fill in that. It's like kind of a fill in the blank. So it gives the entire text by removing a small part of it. Means like something like this part means of the entire word there is a book, it will remove. So what it should predict and pass it to the BERT model. So what it should predict is book over here, like what is there in that missing letter. So that should be predicted. So this is one other way like actually BERT is trained on. So basically like taking this as a kind of a data set, how it is trained is actually, so it has like so many layers. What you can say is something like encoder layers. Like if you, there are many variants in it actually. So if you take BERT base model, so it has layers of, each one is an encoder, encoder like that. From first layer there are like 12 layers in it, like 1 2 3 so on. There are 12 layers in it. So this is like BERT boys, comparatively small model, but it has 12 layers. Each of this encoder what I wrote, it is a transformer block which contains attention blocks in it. Okay. So there is one more variant which is like BERT large, so which was having 24 layers. Okay, so in case if your computational power, like the device where you want to use this is high, then you can go for like BERT large, but usually BERT base would be sufficient for most of the NLP problems. Okay, so taking this, how actually they have given is, so let me take one short example. So like how actually even when we try to train it, how actually we do is, let's say input sentence. Okay, let me talk about that next sentence prediction kind of thing. So let's say input. So this is like start of sentence, like to indicate with like CLS, like there is a token. This is kind of a default format which was it will automatically do, but it will mention this as a kind of a start of sentence. And let me write one example. Okay, my dog is cute. Okay, and there is a like it is an end of sentence. Like before it starts the next sentence there is a separation, right? Usually we keep it with like full stop. So like this in BERT, like we have to represent it by, it will be presented by SCP, which means separation. So and next sentence, he likes playing. Okay, something like that, and full stop, let's say. So this is what we have. Okay, let's say these are the two sentences. This is the first sentence, this is second sentence, and these are given in like few ways. Let me give you those values. So let me first fill it out, then so actually each of these words we have to give it to the model, right? So you have to extract a kind of like vector from it, right? So how we give is kind of a tokenization. Maybe like how we have given it in a previous methods, right? Like keep these as a kind of a count vector, or like maybe one hot encoding out of the vocabulary which it have, right? So you can give each of those IDs. Means like let's say these are the only thing available in our dog is cute, he likes playing. So this is there, and there is a CLS and separation also there. Let's say this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, 6, 7, 8. So these are the only things within your vocabulary, let's say. But usually it contains these many, so many words. But assume, like just for an example to show, so let's, these are the vocabulary. So you assign this as like 1, this my as 2, dog as 3, something like this. So to all. Okay, so like that you assign embedding value for each of them, like token value you can say. So is cute. Similarly for separation, separation is like we have given it as 0. So this has 4, this is 5, something like this to all. Okay, like this for he likes playing, and separation which is 0 again. Okay, so this is token embedding. There is also segment embedding. It's like sentence embedding. So to like separate, like I give it that it is, this is like one sentence, that is second sentence. You give it like this is A, and till here, and from here sentence B starts, playing B, and next separation is also B. Okay, so and then there is also one more thing, a positional embeddings, which is like from how it is being positioned in the sentence, like 0 1 2 3, so on, just like this. 5 6 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, it should be there till 9. Okay, so this is what we will actually provide for a BERT to train it. Okay, so it means like this is sentence A and it should be predicting sentence B. Okay, we give this as input, it should be predicting this. And this is, and each of the word, like what you give, right, you can't give a text directly. So you will be giving these tokenized values, like which are uh, a kind of a numerical value for each of the word. So you will give these values, and from it will we can say, in case if it is a mask, in the sense it should be predicting these things, right, because it should be predicting the next sentence. So it should be predicting this. So like that. And in the sentence, how actually it is positioned. So these are the three kind of representations which we will feed to model, to BERT model. And it should, in case of, if it is a like next sentence prediction, you give EA, all those which are in EA, and it should be predicting all in EB. Okay, like this. So it's just like kind of a representation, like don't worry about much. Okay, so these are the things like which we'll be giving, and it should be predicting the next thing. So okay, but what actually is so different about BERT is like, okay, it is good that it is using transformers and all, but there are also before this BERT, like there are many other models which has come up uh, based on out of transformer. But why actually BERT has been one of the unique and like game changer is because, like previously, before this, there are some models like ELMO, Ulm Fifth, like this. Okay, so these are two models which have been used, okay, like before, like this has been proposed like before BERT. But actually, like what has happened is this Ulm has is been like very efficient, like in the sense like it was able to identify like different words with the same meaning as similar. Okay, something like how we have seen, if you remember, there are words like scary or maybe frightening. Okay, those two are similar. Okay, so those words, it was able to identify similar words based on context. Okay, so and similarly, Ulmfit is able to identify, actually apply kind of transfer learning started from here, like actually uh, like using it from one task and then using it in another task. Such kind of thing is able to use it from Ulmfit. This has started this trending of transfer learning in NLP, like from here. So till here, this is like very good. But what happened, like even here LSTM is being used, but from BERT, like what has happened is from here the evolution is like this. From BERT, what happened is this became bidirectional. So till here it is only unidirectional. So but from here it became a bidirectional. So what happened because of bidirectional is like, let's say, let me give you some example sentence, then you'll be able to identify. So it was able to identify the context in both the sides. So something like okay, i I saw him near river bank. So this is one sentence. And I went to bank to deposit money. Okay, these are two different sentences. Okay, so here, to know the meaning of like bank, what we are doing is like, we if you know here, like if it is unidirectional, you go this way, and from here you are able to know like what is the meaning of bank. This is a kind of a, here the bank is like riverside, right? But if you see here, I went to bank, only if you see only this part, then you are confused whether it is a kind of like like riverside, or maybe is it a like bank where you deposit money. So how will you know is, you also see something on the other side, coming from the other side, to deposit money is what is there here. So from this we are able to know that this bank means like is a bank like where you deposit money, right? So that kind of bank, not the river bank. So you are able to identify that only by looking at both the sides, right? So contest, if it is unidirectional, you only see this way. From here, what did whatever you have seen till now, from that you have to get the contest. And but this, in this I went to bank, here you may think like it can be a river bank, right? So but once you see till here, then you will know that it is actually for depositing money. Then you will know the sense of actual contest, like what word this is, right? So that's why you also see it in the other direction, backward direction. Okay, so taking this bi direction, like you are able to see, like know the contest much better way. Okay, that is the main advantage of using a bidirectional like layers here. So that's what BERT is like, has started to make much more sense. Okay, so that actually, like before this there is also one more like GPT, which was also popular. But like after once BERT has come, like it has in the sense like it has outperformed like better than GPT. So this is what actually is BERT, and how actually it is being trained is like taking some pairs of sentences, like how I have told, right? Like there are sentence 1 2 3 4 like this. So it should predict, like giving sentence 1 it should predict sentence 2, giving sentence 3 it should predict sentence 4, like that. Like it made a pair of this is train X and train Y. Okay, uh, this is input and this should be output. If 1 is given, 2 it should predict, something like that. So this is how actually it has been done. And similarly, also the missing words, like just like I have mentioned here, like the mask modeling, like giving a sentence, where is it? So it will mask randomly, it will mask out of the sentences, and it should be able to predict that. So that is what actually is being used, and finally the model has been trained. Okay, so this is comparatively very large model, and it will take weeks to train on our system, like if you want to try it from scratch. So instead we can use this model, like these are all published and made it open source. We can use those models and like use it for our own problems. Okay, so one such case is like how we can use it is, let's say you have encoder, like I have shown here, right? It contains like 12 layers. So let me write it this way: layer layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, so on. There is like layer 12. Okay, you can give input, it will give you a kind of embedding here, and here on top of it, this is a kind of embedding. Okay, so this you can take this output, and like maybe you have a classification layers or all those, like again. Okay, so but you can remove that, and you can use this embeddings and then use it for your own task. So let's say you have these which is coming from there, you can apply kind of a dense layer or few more attention blocks if you want. And then what you can do is a kind of a transfer learning, right? So you can finally use it for your own task. So this is what you additionally add. And then like you use these embeddings, and from that you use it for your own task, something like this. Like maybe you can extract, you have a sentence like, okay, in the sense Amazon, you have take any e-commerce site, and then you get a kind of a reviews for your product, right? And you want to analyze like how many of them are positive, how many of them are negative. So you get all the reviews, so which are text, right? So from that, each of the review you pass it as an input here. Okay, it will like, and that input finally you get an embedding out of it. So this is a kind of a vector which represent your sentence or maybe your word. Okay, like mostly sentence, right? So those sentences you can pass it across, like it's a kind of a feature now. So it's a kind of a vector, and which are like BERT embedding. So let me write it: BERT embedding. So you given an input, so you got some kind of embedding vector, like 1 0 2 3 like zero point 0.5, like 0.9, something like this. Okay, like this. And this you can use it for your have some kind of a dense layer, fully connected layer, or something like that, and you can get a kind of output, is it positive or negative. So this is possible, right? So we can use our like BERT embedding, and then our own method of classification. So you can use till this part, it's like kind of like word, it's kind of word to vector representation, something like sentence to vector representation, or you can also do at paragraph level. You can send the entire paragraph and get the embedding at this level. So this is how you can do it, and that you can get it like positive or a negative sentence. So this is how actually we can use BERT again to get it. But how actually can we do it practically would be like 5 to 6 lines of code, which we'll see it now. So let's see that. So Hugging Face is one like very good like website which was actually which contains all the like so many data sets as well, and even models like which has been pre-trained on. So you can just search like what model you want, and then this is the BERT base and case. Like you can like there are also other variants of this, like a kind of a multilingual BERT as well, like where you can get different, like you can see this multilingual BERT, like which you can also pass like not just English, any other language. Like let's go inside and see like what it supports. So you can go for this this contains like 104 languages. It supports 104 different languages. It can understand all those. Like if you give a word in maybe in English, or maybe in Telugu, or maybe in Hindi, or a Spanish, German, anything, okay, so it will be able to process that. So like you can use this in case if your use case is intended to be multi lingual. So in case if it is a like not a multilingual, if it is just a kind of like single language, you can go for like go and search for that particular model. Okay, so maybe it will be available, or else if it is mostly use cases, if it is in English, then it is directly available. And I think like for Spanish, French, there are also models available for Chinese as well. But if it is something like a mixed language use case, then you can go for a multilingual version. So this is what something like this. So there is a like you have to install like Python package called transformers, which will actually from that you will be able to, it will automatically download the model just by using this particular code. Like you don't have to write so much of code here. So this from transformers import like BERT tokenizer as well as BERT model. So and then like from BERT tokenizer from pre-trained. So what, and if you give like the model name here, so model name can be found from kind of a list. Like if you go to models, like there are like so many list of models from which you have to select like what model you want. So BERT based multi-model cased. So what is this cased and uncased is, if you want the capital letters like a sentence cased or like uppercase should be detected as a different word. Okay, so then you can go for case. If it is uncased, all will be treated as a kind of a lower case and then be processed. So you have to take this tokenizer as well as the model, some from BERT model pre-trained, and if you specify the same name, this will be the model. So then a kind of, if you give some kind of a text here, okay, so this is a text which you have given, so replace me some sentence, and if you pass this text initially to a tokenizer and then to a model, it will translate it to a kind of an output, final output you'll be getting here. So this is in PyTorch, using PyTorch. Similarly, it TensorFlow will also be similar. It is slight different. So the returns and tensors, PT means actually PyTorch. So mostly in NLP, people use like PyTorch. So this information, how it has been trained, is also given here. You can reuse that, or and from here you have to extract the layer, the 12th layer mostly, right? And as a kind of embedding. So usually this size of the embedding will be like 512. The size of the vector will be 512 vector. Okay, so that is about BERT. And similarly, like there are like other versions like BERT. In case you uh, feel that like this is larger for your particular output, so you can go for a distill BERT, which is a kind of a mini version of BERT. So by applying a model distillation process, so a larger model has been it's like a teacher student kind of an approach where a teacher trains a student. Similarly, teacher is a bird, bigger bird, and then using it has trained a distill bird. Okay, so a smaller model which is a distill bird, you can even use this just by replacing this particular name with name here, distill bird. So if you go inside, the code will also be available. You can also see, like, this is a kind of a demo. Like, if you, Paris is a, and mask is like a missing word here. Okay, so it will fill that word. You see, capital is given the highest score, right? So Paris is a capital of France, it has predicted. So let me, in case we want some other a sentence, okay, let me give some other capital of, and I'm going to remove this and keep it as a mask and compute. Okay, is current. So if you see here, I have replaced this word France here, and I kept as a mask, and use this digital bit to compute. So you can see France has given the highest score. So it has predicted that it is a France, right? The missing word is France. So something like that. So we can also play it. You can play it with this, with some other things. In case we want to download. So if you go to file versions, there is an option available to for you to download it offline and then reuse this one. Okay, so this is like 255 MB, which was a PyTorch version, and if you go for a TensorFlow version, it was like 346 MB. So depending on your project, like language you use, so you can download that versions. So you can try this out. And currently, like the latest development in this is like GPT-3. I'm not sure if it is available here. Let me search that. So GPT-3, okay, 3 is not available at, there is something available. Rupert, GPT-3 is available here, right? So you can use even this version, which was like latest among all. Like you can also see when it has been downloaded as well. Okay, so something like that. So you can see here, my name is Mariama. So like my favorite, and it has filled the next sentence, like food is mushroom, and I, something like that. Okay, so you can also give something other sentence, it will try to fill that one. So this is again GPT-2, not GPT-3, but latest version, like, which is a state of art model which was published recently in 2020, is like GPT-3, which has I think like even kind of a breakthrough, and and it has a large breakthrough in NLP field. But I'm not sure if they are going to make it open source. But as of now, till GPT-2 is like open source. Okay, so this is about this model. But for every model, I think like there will be uh, a kind of like documentation available and how to use it. You can but usually, to start, for a starters, better start with using bird, by using this part of code, and then you can play with this output, use it for use this output to your own, like how you want to, okay, yeah, adding some more dense layers and using it for your own problem. Okay, so this is, and you can also see for a multilingual, the list of languages were given here. So you can see if the particular language you are working on is available in your available here. So I think it has covered like so many languages here, right? So even so many Indian languages, Hindi is there. So you can see Japanese, so Malayalam, so yes, like Spanish, Tamil, Telugu, Urdu. You have almost like so many languages, Tamil as well, right? So, in case if your project, like a particular use case problem statement covers these languages, you can go for this multilingual. Okay, so you can also see the performance given here, like compared to baseline. So yeah, that's it about like BERT. Okay.